I'll go. Well, hello. You caught me just finishing off some of the boring guitar building bits. So since the last time you've seen it, I've put some frets in. Yes, of course, we've put hot dog ends on. What do you take me for? I've drilled the holes for the bridge and the little recess needed for the pickup. So that's the boring guitar stuff that everybody does. Now let's do the interesting stuff. Now we need to sort this bit out. So this is a cupboard door handle with the 2 screws that would normally go through the cupboard. So we've got to put the holes in the body to screw that on. But we also then need to put the holes in the back here to line up with this for the strings to attach to. Yes, we're going to have the strings coming out of there. So you'll see the string ends. But we need to know where to place these. Now, I could use this, but we also have one of these. Okay, so this is the jig. All right. So we've mounted the normal poles. We'll put that on there so we know the string spacing is going to be even, and it is still going to have that nice little arc to it as well, which is lovely. And then I've just masking taped and super glued this down because I think this is a jig I'm going to use quite a lot, I suspect. Big thanks to the Fluid Alchemist on Instagram. Go and check him out. He makes some gorgeous guitars, really, really nice. Who came up with this idea, and I've completely stolen it. So, with the strings having somewhere to be attached, we can now turn our focus to the volume and tone pots. Now then, I promised you that I wasn't going to use these, and I'm half telling the truth. I'm going to use them for the purposes of sticking down onto the actual shaft of the pot itself, but we're not going to have them look like this. We've got something really, really cool that I can't wait to try out, and I hope it really, really works. Come on, have a look. So these are what I want to use. Can you see them? Tiny little cupcakes, petit fours if you will, and have that over the top of there. Oh, I love it. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to stick that in there using a little bit of the old UV resin stuff that we love, and we'll see if we can put it in so that it goes matching up to the top, all nice and straight, and fill that in, probably just in little sections as it goes to make sure it cures properly. That's got a little crease on. Do I want one with a little crease on, or do I want it to be a little bit more pristine? Ooh, I think a little bit more pristine. So let's go with that. Right, so we need to go. So we need some in the bottom to start with to raise that up, and then we need to hold that in. How am I gonna hold that in there? Hang on. Okay, so it turns out I'm a complete genius. We're just going to use a cocktail stick and super glue it into that little corner in there. You see that in there? It's these little corner things. We're just going to super glue that in there, and then I can hold that in there. Just put a little dab. Completely designed to be stain resistant, this stuff. Check it out. So let's see, let's put some in there to start with. So with that first layer set, that is now actually set inside there. So I'm just going to do kind of a small layer at a time to build up and fill that gap all the way around. If you put too much in, it won't set down at the bottom with the UV light in. And also, it might just be too heavy and start splaying the paper casting out, which I wouldn't want that to happen either. Take that off there now. And now, I can just stand that on top. and have that set on all sides. Repeat until it's full. There we go. 2 pretty solid. Love it. I love it. If you're liking the build so far, give it a big fat thumbs up and be prepared to get your checkbooks out, because this guitar, like all the other great guitar build-offs that I've done, is going to be going up for auction. And what better with this one than all the proceeds will be going to Food Bank here in the UK. So details of that coming up soon. Make sure you click like and subscribe to catch all that information so you could get your hands on this guitar and give a little back to charity at the same time. And with everything kind of sitting where it should do, we can then position where these want to be. So I can then drill the hole straight through the middle, and then we can sort out the back cavity. So with these 2 holes, which is where the pots are coming through, I can take a thin piece of this boarding, make a plate the right size, and then scribe around that to then create the cavity underneath. Smiley face. Right, so that's all the detail stuff made up. Now, before I attach them all, this thing's going to need another sanding and then some coats of Danish oil to go on the top to protect it all. That will then need to cure. Then we can go fitting all of these components. So make sure you come back next week to see that final thing and to check out how you can get your hands on this and give some money back to charity for the food bank here in the UK. Desperately needed at the minute. So be prepared to get your checkbook out. Until then, take care, sharpen your tools, and I'll see you soon. God bless.